Dear colleagues, my name is Fomenko. I am a head of TRIZ at GAZ Group. I will share our experience in building regular processes for working with innovation based on TRIZ. We called our approach Intensive Evolution System. A couple words about GAZ Group. We are leading manufacturer in commercial vehicles in Russia. We have 40,000 employees. We produce trucks and buses and export them to 55 countries of the world. We have 13 full-time TRIZ specialists with the highest certification level is 4. And we absorbed knowledge from 9 TRIZ masters. They consult us. Let's start with the challenges we faced at the very beginning of our work. Here is the effect of our activities over the past 3 years. Potential effect means that the concept is found, feasibility studies is performed, profitable business case is shown, but something happens at the stage of implementation. I hid the absolute values on the chart because it is financial data. But the critical point is 0 of proven effect at the first year. I was shocked. I really was shocked. But we all realized that regular procedures ensuring implementation of TRIZ solution are needed. And we succeeded in building it. And you could see the dynamic on the graph. In the first part, I will talk about the challenges faced by the corporations in terms of working with innovations. As much as managers love to discuss them, innovations are harmful for corporate executives at all levels. Do you understand correctly that this will have to be implemented? Oh no, then I don't like this idea. It's a real comment from our TRIZ workshop. Why we are faced with such situation? Barrier first, because any innovation has only a slight chance of success and a high probability of failure. This is why managers who work at company where performance is evaluated on the basis of annual plan, this is what most company used KPI for, prefer to set and agree on with their supervisor as less innovative goals as possible. The smartest trick here would be to include an already achieved goal in your performance metric for the next year. Moreover, conventional lean methodologies promote utilization of any excessive resource stock, which also includes time and energy. As a result, managers usually don't have none of this. Introducing an innovation always means a great scope of work that is basically impossible to predict. Taken that the chance of success is much below than 50%, we see that the manager just would not have any interest to this type of activity. And finally, if the instruction to innovate comes as a directive from the top, a manager who is sure that invention requires a special talent and who don't want to take risks will start looking for ideas that have successfully worked elsewhere. This is where hyped trend and cargo cults actually comes from. Everyone has surely heard about accelerator, incubators, hackathons, corporate venture funds, and other things. As fashionable they may be, the tools sometimes implement without understanding complexity and scope of the goals. Based on the above, we can lay down requirements for organizing system change. The first requirement is to have a methodology that can be formalized and communicated to the purpose of taking management decision during the high uncertainty. Such methodology should be suitable at all levels of the decision hierarchy. However, setting the correct innovation goals is only half of the battle. The company should also be able to achieve them. This implies the second necessary requirement: to have a methodology in place that would help to overcome the obstacles to the selected goals and tackle sophisticated problems. The third requirement behind system changes is to have formalized procedures for managing the innovation process. In fact, these are the tools used to force the company to go this way. Based on the requirement laid out above, we developed intensive evaluation system, and I will show how it works in GAZ Group. Our approach consists of 3 layers and several TRIZ-based procedures for each layer. The first component is a system for engaging managers into innovative activities, which is represented by 2 procedures: preparing innovative development programs and a regular conference, GAZ focus points. Before I start describing the formats implemented in GAZ Group, I will formulate the key problem that we solved: how to eliminate barriers for innovation, fear, lack of resources, hype following, without a radical change in the management system. Why? Because it works. Because it is embedded in corporate culture. It does not change quickly. And we found the way to remove these barriers. For example, to remove the fear, we proposed to hide all risky things in a separate KPI, developing an innovative development program. We assess the level of accomplishment of this task by the depth of how deeply the manager has analyzed his system using TRIZ tools, how he determined the key parameters, how he finds the limit of growth, and how he set tasks to overcome the limits. The result of IDP is cleared of risk activities which fall into the KPIs of the head of department into the next year. In this photo, the president of the GAZ Group says that IDP is a new milestone in development of our company. Without his broadest support, it would be impossible to implement our approach. On this slide, a step-by-step scheme for IDP development is presented. Step 1, find the key parameters. Step 2, find the limits of growth. Step 3, find the limiting factors. And step 4, set a task to overcome limiting factors. Let's give you an example of using the approach in GAZ Group. The subdivision's strategic objective for 2020 was to reduce the cost of certain vehicle. However, instead of setting a traditional objective to reduce the cost by X rubles, the cost was discovered, the whole potential of the cost reduction, and propose actions for unlocking this potential. For these purposes, we selected 640 key vehicles components to be analyzed. We formed 8 working groups at 8 enterprises. The work involved over 100 people, including head of the enterprises, staff TRIZ experts, design engineer, manufacturing engineer, and shop floor experts. As a result, we reached the economy of 6% of direct vehicle costs. After implementing the measures, the company will have an economic effect of 200 million rubles per year. Vehicle with made changes is shown on this slide. Of course, to do such things, we have been training our specialists in TRIZ tools for 3 years. Moreover, more than 50 people have been trained in an advanced program of 320 hours. At the same time, we are convinced that such work is impossible without ambition goal settings, without involvement of management. As a result, innovation management will become a regular process, penetrating all company levels. IDP preparation will yield objective data for evaluating executive performance in terms of innovation management. IDP implementation creates a natural, non-constrained demand for inventive problem solving, and therefore the needs for TRIZ experts. When the corporate culture became prepared, we installed another procedure of management engagement system, regular conference, GAZ focus points. All we know, Maslow pyramid, motivation through KPI affects the needs at lower level. Physiology and safety, fear and pain, avoidance. It makes you think in the short term. But for innovation, we need to affect the high level to create self-motivation. How to do this without a radical change in management system? Final ideal result is when manager will motivate each other. Every 4 months, we conduct a conference. Each conference session includes 12 speakers with 7 minutes report. IDP framework for the reports is used. What are the key parameters? What are the limit of growth? What tasks are set to reach the limits? And final point, safe environment. No Q&A sessions, no assignments following the conference. It is synchronization between departments. And the next steps is voting and informal rating creation. And the final point, the system of leagues. If you become the best speaker from the league 2, 4 months later, you will be in the top league and the president will see you. It is creating a real motivation to do the job well without any punishment. As a result, each manager in our company is motivated to develop the department for which he is responsible and the company as a whole. It creates a real demand to learn TRIZ. The second layer of intensive evaluation system is a special training course for managers. We developed and held a special 22 hours training course consisting of 5 modules. The purpose of the course was to provide the group's management, including the president, with methodology solutions to enhance the problem-setting process. And the third layer is a special education programs for problem solvers and business developers. The purpose is to train TRIZ specialists to provide the managers with a resource for innovation development. The training and practice course was designed for engineers and technicians, middle managers, and line personnel. The curriculum includes education on several dozen of TRIZ instruments. After the course, TRIZ expert will know how to formulate and solve innovation problems by themselves, and well as how to organize teamwork and deliver TRIZ training to their business colleagues. I have described in general terms the purpose and components of the intensive evaluation system. Thank you for your attention. Do not hesitate to ask questions.